Hello everybody. So I just want to do a quick video here. I just realized not too long ago that I was making this paint rack and I never put out any follow-up videos of what I was doing. So I actually completed this during the hurricane last year, and because I had some time to kill and waiting on a storm to come and knock out your power and do all the cool stuff storms do for a hurricane. So I went outside on my back porch when it was beautiful outside. It's always really nice outside usually, the day or two before the hurricane gets to you. And then this year, not so much nice outside after it left, but the previous year, the hurricane that hit Florida, it was really nice. I think the next day or two after, which unfortunately I didn't lose, well, fortunately I didn't lose power on that one, but had I, it would have been nice to have the house opened up because it was really nice outside the day or two after. Where this year it wasn't really nice out, so it kind of sucked to have the house opened up and had no, air conditioning, no electricity, couldn't run a fan. All my food I kept in the refrigerator, in the freezer, and then I was just pulling it out as needed and just keeping the refrigerator closed as much as possible. And I was cooking breakfast, lunch, dinner, anything in the actual barbecue grill, which I had a full tank of propane for, which works out nice. And if I ran out of gas, I have plenty of wood on the side of the house. That would have just done a barbecue, or I would have just made a fire with my fire pit and put a stone in there to heat up the stone, and I would just cook stuff on top of the stone. But here is the completed rack. Now, this, and this underneath are those paints. Those were the 3D printed things that my friend gave me, which actually fit the Vallejo, what were these called? Liquid metals? As liquid golds, but it fit these really nicely in there, so that's why they're sitting there. It gave them a nice little home. Your standard craft paints also fit in there pretty nicely, so they got homes in there as well. These are not the same, so metal varnish. So these actually have gone in there as well. And then these are some of the paint sets that I have. So all of those underneath this are for the Fairy and Maleficent flesh set. So I kind of just wanted to keep them together instead of putting them out into the paint colors like I have here and down there. So I wanted to keep them separate, so that's why they're like that. And I have some room to grow. As you can see here, that was all the PVC pipe that I bought. I only bought 2 different PVC pipes, and as you can see, that covers the whole entire thing. Once I had those all glued together with the PVC piping glue, which actually even worked on this plastic from the 3D printer, I then took some caulk and I put a layer of caulk down on this plywood that I bought. Or was that MDF board? I think it's plywood. Yeah, it's plywood. I had to remember what I bought. And then once that was adhered down, I took white spray paint and I sprayed the whole entire rack and the board behind it so it wouldn't look bad up against the wall. And then what I also did, as you can see the screw right here, is I got 2 wall anchors that can hold up 75 pounds per wall anchor. There's 2 of them. Drilled 2 holes, put them in place, screw these in. They're really nice wall anchors. They're the ones you screw them in, and then you put the screw into the wall anchor itself. You can find them at your local hardware store. They sell plastic ones and metal ones. I personally like the metal ones. I feel like they're less likely to fail. Now, in order to make sure the paints didn't fall out of the rack, I ended up taking a piece of scrap wood, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get it on the camera, but if it does see it, great. If not, not a big deal. But you might be able to tell that this is off angle a little bit, and that's because I put that in the back. I glued that in place with wood glue and took a couple of small screws and screw those into that afterwards, just to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. And what that does is that gives me a little bit of a gap that I can fit my fingers in, which tilts the bottom out, and then the back is flush with the wall, As you can see, I can't put my finger in, which gives us that angle so the paints aren't going to just fall out over time from doors closing or anything like that. So that's basically got them secured into place. As you can see, the second pipe I bought, this is all they had. It's a little bit thicker of a pipe, so I added probably a little bit more weight. But other than that, it's not a big deal. Now, that being said, how much time and effort it took to cut the pipe, sand the pipe, glue the pipe in place. You could only do so much at a time without it worrying about it falling apart. Plus, I only had so many clothespins to pin them together so that they would stay together and dry. It took a lot of time and a lot of effort, and to be honest, I think if I buy another wall rack after this fills up, if it ever does, which probably won't, I'm pretty good on paint now, so I don't really foresee myself buying too much of anything else. But if I do, it'll be another one of these pre-made MDFs. This took me one day to put together and let the glue dry overnight, and the next day I primed it white, and boom, up on the wall it went. So that is what I'll do next time if I end up needing to do something like that again in the future. But I did want to show you guys the rack full finished and completed and in use, because I had forgotten that I didn't do it, and I was planning on doing that. So here you guys go. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Have a good one. Bye.